Hey y'all, we're here with the bestie and I'm going to be tying on some waist beads so you can see the process of how to tie them on. And she chose these beautiful black ones. Alright, so when you get your waist beads, you're going to have some extra string on the end. And that is so you can move them down accordingly, so when you tie, you'll have a little space to tie. So what I'm gonna do here, now the ones down towards the end of the strand are compacted, okay? So we're gonna give some space around here so we can, because we don't know where the knot's gonna be until we place them around her waist. So I'm just gonna loosen up. Let me show you what I'm doing. I'm just pulling some of the beads down so I can just make some space between the beads. Okay, making a few little gaps there. All right, you're carefully holding this end that's loose. You don't want the beads to fall off. All right, now the next thing you want to do is determine where on the waistline you want them. Where they're comfortable, where they look good to you, all of that. So you tell me where you want your beads at, where you prefer.
Above, because I want it to drop.
Okay, so you want it like here? Can you see? Is that okay, or you want them higher?
I don't know. What looks better?
I think this is a good spot. Okay. Once you've determined where you want it, you're gonna start scooting those beads back into place so that they're all together and you can't see any string. You also want to consider how tight or loose you want your beads to be. If you're wearing your beads for like weight management and awareness, body awareness, you want them to be a little snug. This is a very important part. You do not want to hold your stomach in. You want to be at your most relaxed state because you want the beads to fit as you're walking and living and moving through life. You want them to be comfortable. So is your waistline relaxed right now? Okay. So before you tie, always make sure you're relaxed. You're gonna tie a knot between, you're gonna find a spot and tie the knot between the beads. So I'm gonna have you turn towards the camera so they can see me finding a nice spot.
So what happens to the beads that's on the other part?
The excess beads can be used to make something else, but they're typically discarded. Okay, I think that's a good spot. Feels comfortable. She has a little bit of room to expand her stomach or contract.
I need a lot of better.
Okay.
No.
I'm kidding. I think that's good. Yeah. All right, so once you found your location of where you want your knot to be and you've moved your beads, you're gonna go between and tie a knot. Now when you tie your knot, make sure you're holding it taut and that your first knot pulls the two sides together like this. You don't want gaps in between there, okay? One knot is not enough, so you're gonna have to go back through here.
Do we need to pull the beads back?
Pull them back?
For the next knot?
Okay. No, because we want the beads to be close together. So I'm just tying another knot. Okay, now we have two knots. One knot was coming around this way. The next knot was coming around this way, around the bottom Okay, so I'm just going to continue to do that until I feel like the knot is secure and it will not easily unravel. So I'm doing another vertical knot. That's a vertical knot going this way. Now I'm going to do a horizontal knot going this way. You're going to pull it as tight as you can. This is very sturdy, so it's not going to snap. That's pretty secure. Okay. Once you have your knot, just gonna get your scissors. You're gonna get close to the knot. Don't cut the knot. You're gonna ruin it and have to buy a new strand. Okay, so make sure you get close to the knot without cutting the knot. Let me see if I can zoom in here. I cannot. That's okay. So I'm gonna leave a little tail, just a little bit of a tail here. Now, some people like to burn this little piece right here. You can if you want to. Just to secure the ends there. Be very careful with flames. There we go.
And bestie.
And bestie. And now your girl is rocking her waist beads. Now, if you're wearing waist beads for the purpose of body awareness, when you eat, if you eating too much and your stomach expands, like if you poke your stomach out a little bit, these beads will start to roll up. Okay, when they start rolling up, you know you've eaten too much, or either you're putting on inches on the waistline. Now, once you do your weight loss, let's suck it in. They start rolling down. And as your beads go further and further down, that is an indication that you're losing weight. So a lot of people like the gratification of that feeling and the way they look as they start to travel down the waistline, which indicates your success with weight loss. So I want to thank you, bestie, for being my model today. If you guys have any questions, be sure to hit me up. Make sure you're following me on TikTok, Instagram. I'm Aunt Honey Dallas on Instagram. On TikTok, I'm HoneyChild214. Love y'all. Peace. And we had a few beads left over from her strands, so she decided to make a bracelet. So we did that as well. Look how cute.